Hey, by the way, we got a big holiday going on today. You see, I got my green. I got my green. Always. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. It's a very important holiday to me because I am quite a bit Irish. I have spent a lot of time in Ireland recently, which has just been amazing. It is an incredible, incredible, incredible country. I'm going back again this summer. I absolutely love it. I have a daughter who does Irish step dancing. So, we're like really into Ireland in my family. And I didn't have a choice. Like growing up, was the biggest holiday. I'm actually traveling and my mom's with us right now, so she's got all the Irish like green beads and the light up pins and stuff. Like if I really wanted to do it up, I could, but I'm sparing you that. Anyway, there was an interesting person there at the White House today from Ireland, Irish fighter Conor McGregor, who wants to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy Paddy's Day, America!
A happy Paddy's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well. Conor McGregor, he's actually being talked about potentially as a presidential candidate there in Ireland, which is interesting. He's actually considered pretty divisive in Ireland, surprise, surprise, in part because he's made a big deal about the immigration crisis. Don't forget, Northern Ireland is connected to Southern Ireland right now, right? And they have a very porous border. And so the UK has sent over a ton of people that they have been taking in to the UK from Africa, from the Middle East, and they have been then shipping them into Northern Ireland. And so if you go to Belfast, for example, it's sort of wild. Like you'll see a lot of people that don't really look Irish, it was sort of surprising for me. If you go to Southern Ireland, very, very, very different story. But even in Dublin now, it's become so multicultural and it's been challenging for some of the Irish. I played a clip, I think on Thursday of last week, of a woman who's been traveling into the countryside every weekend to warn families of this. The demographics are shifting and in a way that doesn't really appreciate Irish culture. And listen, I know this as someone who's very Irish, the culture is everything. Like it's really, really, really important to people from Ireland, so much so that they even have communities where they still speak Irish. I'm actually from one of them. My family is. And that's the language that the kids study in because they're desperately trying to hold on to what is theirs because it was taken by the British, right? They couldn't speak in their own language because the British took that. And now you look at what's going on, and I think they've got a new challenge there with the immigration crisis that's going to slowly start to permeate through the rest of the island that is ironically sort of, or perhaps perversely, part of the UK's doing as well, sending them right back, right, into that trouble zone. Here's Conor McGregor, Conor, forgive me, Conor, speaking there at the White House with, wow. So that's interesting to me. I don't think that has caught on throughout all of Ireland. He is considered a controversial figure, and a lot of people say he won't be able to run for the main gig because he needs support from 20 official people there in Parliament already, and he's not going to get that support. But he's cluing in on something that I don't think the entire country understands just yet, but you're probably going to see more and more of this in the coming years. Ireland is such a wonderful place, and the people are so incredibly welcoming, but they run risks of being effectively the next Sweden, right? If they don't understand what's at stake. And for a country that prides themselves on their language, on their history, on their culture, I think it's going to be hard to share all that. And not just share, I think they'd happily share, right? Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, as we always say. It's going to be hard for them to give that up. And that's the risk. And, before you say, oh, that's not going to happen. Look, you go around the world and that's happened everywhere. You go to Germany, for example, and now they have to have separate swimming hours for men and women in the pools because the Muslim population that came in, the men didn't understand seeing women in swimsuits in the, sort of the equivalent of the YMCA, just their local pools. And this was something that was sort of a historic thing. You'd go swimming with your family, you'd go swim. And then they had to change that. And I'm like, wait a second. So you're changing your culture to be able to fit something else. And I think Sweden's run the same risk. I have a friend from there who told me they were told not to wear Swedish flags on their jerseys. And it's like, wait a second, you're in your own country, for goodness sake. So I think McGregor is on to something. And while people might be resistant to him right now, he is an Irish fighter, as they say, so watch out. He may have a big political future ahead of him. Quick reminder, everyone, go to 76 Research, my company. Get that with code word dollar. Also, go check out our friends there at American Heart for Gold, who is a wonderful sponsor of the Trish Regan show, and you can get up to $15,000 in free silver if you have a qualifying gold offer. So check it out at trishlovesgold.com or text them at Trish. Just send my name to 65532